Hello and welcome to another edition of Convict Inc. I'm your host, Robert Rosso, coming to you from my backyard. Me and Marta were out cruising around in the mountains and came upon this awesome creek. And I'm just like, man, let me show you. There's Marta. Now, why is Marta dressed like a condom? Say hi. I said, why are you dressed like a condom? She's dressed like a condom because I keep splashing her. So she has goggles and the whole bit. Anyway, okay. This has to do with an incident that took place at Butner FMC in 2007. I'd actually did this video earlier and it was at home. Actually, it was yesterday at home. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it again because it's too awesome here. Maybe you guys get to see something a little bit different. So if you've watched this channel, you know that I was sentenced to life without parole in 1998 for a nonviolent methamphetamine conspiracy. I was given life, sent to Leavenworth first, stayed there for 5 years, then to Lewisburg, and the whole time I was at Leavenworth for sure, and sometime at Lewisburg, I partied. I got high. Opiates have become, because of prison, my drug of choice. Not in the pretense, but in general. At the most strung out that I ever was, it wasn't on heroin at Leavenworth or at Lewisburg. It was at the Federal Medical Center on prescription opiates. In 2007 at FMC Butner, when you came in intake, a nurse came down and they did the whole pain scale thing. Now, most people go there because they have medical issues. There are some cadres. Cadres are the work crew that are low custody inmates. They come in, they get screened as well, and they get the same nurses screening and everything. And well, they did back then. And I already knew this going in. So of course, I also know that 7 is, anything above 6 is just like saying 10. So I always say 7 so I can get narcotics. That's how it was back in the day. I was put on Percocets pretty quick, and that's always kind of been my favorite drug out of Oxy and all that other stuff. I don't know why. 10 milligram Percocets. I don't know why. Because I am a glutton, my habit, the amount of pills that I was taking grew really fast. That is from 4 Percocets to 8 to 16, 20, and so on. I got up to 36 at one time. I know that sounds unbelievable, but I was doing it for a number of, almost a couple months, or a couple months for sure. And I was doing the Percocets in the morning, anywhere from 20 to, like I said, 36, morphine in the afternoon, and fentanyl at night. One morning I got up, and I always like to do the perks in the morning. So one of the things people always ask me is, well, how are you able to afford it? When I went to Butner, a cop approached me about bringing tobacco in, and I was able to get tobacco and then trade it. Buy tobacco from him and then trade it for pills. I know there's a lot of guys that are dying in Butner, but dying guys like cigarettes for whatever reason. Okay, you guys want to see Marta too. Okay, so when I got up to, I don't remember if I was taking 36 this time or if it was 20 or 16, but the morning perks were the thing for me. And I would get them on an empty stomach, drink coffee, and I wouldn't eat for 3 hours. That usually happened about 7:30. On this morning, I woke up a little late. Came up from my stupor a little late. Took my perks, and just as I was coming on, drinking my coffee kicking in, that's how I always, maybe it's psychological, I don't know. Just as it was kicking in, they said, Rosso, you have to go downstairs for drug treatment. Yeah, how ironic, right? I'm like, drug treatment? I'm here for cancer. Like, well, you're signed up in this drug treatment program, or drug treatment class, I think it was. So you can't get out of it. You get it a disciplinary, so you have to go. I had to go at least sign out. So I went, and sure enough, it was a drug program. Only on this day, outside people had come in, and it was more of like an NA meeting, and it included man, dozens of people from the cadre, a bunch of people from the street, and this room was just packed. And there's me, who's trying to leave. It wouldn't let me leave until the next move. Well, as a lot of NA meetings do, hi, I'm Joe, I'm a this, hi, I'm... So we started talking, and actually some of the guys were going like, hi, I'm Derek, I'm an addict and I have 5 years, or something. It was something weird like that to me. And it came to be my turn, and I'm like, hi, my name's Robert, and I'm an addict. I'm sentenced to life without parole in 1997. Struggled with heroin, and I just had diarrhea at the mouth and just went on and on. And ended up telling them pretty much my life story. And let me tell you something. By the time I was done, and what I was saying was fraudulent. I was saying that I was sober. I was saying that I was channeling that guy that was sober for a minute. So the first time I ever decided to try to get clean in federal prison was after I found out that I had bladder cancer, and then I did, and Hep C. So I found out I had Hep C and then bladder cancer back to back. So I got clean 26 months or something like that. So when I was, so years later, a couple years later, when I'm in Butner, I was really channeling that guy that was clean back there, and I was really, really going for it, like how great it was to be sober, and how, just totally bullshitting, But I can't lie, it felt really awesome. It really did. And there were guys, prisoners, crying. People from the street coming up, hugging me. It was just crazy. And you know what? I'll never, ever forget that day. Really, I think I convinced myself in that moment that I really was clean. It was really strange. And this brings me kind of to today. So in my life, I really do want to go talk to kids at schools, be instrumental in different rehabilitations, but I'm not there. I'm not there right now. I think I've told you guys before, Marta never expected me to drink, neither did I when I got out, so I had drank periodically. And that went from when my dad was dying to a lot, for some days, to cracking open a beer and it gets warm at times, to nothing at all. So, of course, I'm an addict, and I know that. And I'm almost been out a year. Marta's been really patient. She doesn't like the sight of me with any kind of alcoholic beverage. She thinks it's going to go straight to the needle. I don't, but if I can sit there and say, I can do this or that without drugs, but I drink every now and then why can't I not drink as well? I think that's the time when I really am true to myself, and not that bullshitter that was at Butner, that was preaching, how great sobriety was, but was just completely whacked out. And by the way, that happens in a lot of different rehab settings, where the owner of the rehabs or the houses or the whatever is actually effed up on drugs. I've known several cases, so that's nothing new. That's an addict being more manipulative. But I won't forget that day at Butner, and I want to do that at some point in my life when I know that I'm not being a fraud. And even right now, like I said, I'm not there. Who am I to be able to go to these? There's a juvenile facility not far, and there's people that claim they can get me in there if I wanted to, and this and that, and war. I don't know. I have no idea if that's true, but I wouldn't even entertain that thought at this point, because even though I'm not like that guy at Butner back then, still it's wrong. So I'm just rambling. I think that's about it. But I will say that there were guys that came up to me months later at Butner or saw me later that said that story that I told them that day in that room at Butner FMC changed their lives. There's people that on here that have said that some of my stories of helping them stay focused or get clean or whatever, and I think that's awesome. I just don't want to be, don't want people to think like I'm that, like I'm not trying to be a fraud right now. And the truth is, like I said, I have drank. I drank. And we got what? It's almost over. At least from Artist's sake. Anyway, there she is. Babe. All right, so this one is 10 minutes and 52 minutes. Some people are getting mad at me for the shorter type of videos. I'll do a long one tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it right now since we're here. This place is awesome. From Poto Mountain. Actually, I'm in back of Poto Mountain. I went over Poto Mountain. Well, I hope I'm not in Oklahoma. No, I'm still in Arkansas. All right, take care. And that's where we're going next, up that hill. Peace.